Hello, let's talk about components. In every Angular application, main building blocks are components. Everything that you will see on some modern Angular application is built by huge number of components. First components that you will have in any project will be AppRoot component, this one. It is some kind of container for all content on our page. This logo, this text, and these buttons are part of app root component. So let's see in code where we can find app root component. For now, we will only concentrate on component files in the file structure. Don't worry, after I explain to you components, I will come back and explain to you project structure and told you what each of these files works in Angular. Let's focus first on source folder, this one. In every project we will have this source folder, and inside that folder you will find everything for your application. Inside this source folder you can find this app folder. That folder is basically place where all code for app root component it is located. You can see there is a bunch of files related to this component, but for now we want to focus only on these three files: app.ts, app.html, and app.css. Every component has these three things: file for component code, file for component HTML, and file for styling. Let's talk about this app.ts file. As you know, Angular is working with TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript which has some extra features and things that we don't have in plain.js. In this course, we will not talk about TypeScript from the ground, but everything that is needed for Angular development and it is related with TypeScript, I will explain to you. To understand Angular code, you need to have basic knowledge of JavaScript and object-oriented programming. Let's see what it means this code in app.ts. As you maybe know, class is some blueprint for creating objects. It has properties and methods which can be used to do something with that object. In our case, this class will be our blueprint for creating app root component. The class name is always similar to the component name, not need to be same. In this class, we have only one property, this one title property. So main question is where this component will use this property. You don't see any place. Good question. Answer is in app.html file. app.html is UI part of component. Everything that component will display on web page will be located in this file like HTML template. Let's try to find this title property somewhere in the file. One help for Visual Studio Code Editor, we can search in file for some content if we press Ctrl plus F. And here type what we want to find. Title. We have 9 places where this word disappears. How to know which title it is? For now, you need to trust me that this first one is this one. And if we come back in app.ts, we will see that in this property here, we are storing something like test app. So it makes sense, because in browser you will read hello test app. You can see here. Notice that here in app.html, we have all content from web page, that is basically everything that we see in browser. Text, links, buttons. As you maybe remember from past video, here we have main tag here, and if we collapse this tag, we will see also router outlet tag. Interesting. And now you understand from where comes these tags inside app root tag. Okay, good. We have nice progress in learning. To be easier to explain other things, I will delete all in this file except only this line with title property. I will copy this and delete everything. Paste this one, save, and go to the browser and see how now application looks. You can notice that we have only this hello test app. I'm pretty sure that you understand now how Angular displaying content on page. Let's go back in AppTS again. Maybe you noticed this strange thing here, this @decorator. What is this? This is something that we call decorator in TypeScript. This is basically some metadata for class, some additional information. And this you will see a lot in Angular projects. How you will know that some class is component? Answer is simple. You will see this decorator in component file. Decorator is basically function. In our case, accept object as parameter. This one. And here in object we have some metadata for component. We have selector, this, and that is the name of component in HTML template. Basically name of the tag which will be identifier for this component. Go back in index.html to see something. We have here app root this tag. This is related to our component. And when Angular see this, it will know that this is app root component. And it will create instance of this class in the memory of browser. So component will be created. Go back in AppTS. And what is conclusion? Conclusion is that every component needs to have selector, name, under which it will be visible in templates. Next we have imports. This we will skip in this video, will be explained later. And we have two additional properties, template URL and style URL, which told us where is location for component template and style. These are relative paths and are related to this app.html and app.css file. app.html file we know from earlier, and app.css file is simple styling file for app root component. It contains whole CSS for this component. Currently we don't have any code here. More talk about styling, it will be in the next videos. Only for the end, also ignore these imports in this AppTS file. This is not important currently in this story about components. That's all for this video. More about components we will learn in next video. See you.